Okay.
What's up, guys? Andy here, aka That Huge Asian Guy, aka Power Panda. Just got back from Cali a day ago for Thanksgiving. Visited my family and got to live with my friends and do a little bit of filming for Iron Rebel. So today we have Mr. Steve Gentili, also known as PT Fitness 500 on Instagram. He's got a huge bench press and a big deadlift, and his squat is coming along. He just hit a 730 squat PR when I was there. You should rewind back, check out my other videos, I'm sure it's on there. So Steve and I met back in June when I visited and saw him at Barbell with Adam Folk Smash, and ever since then we got along, and you know, we have very similar philosophies as far as you know, being a power builder, quote unquote. You know, being strong, powerful, but also looking good, being lean, and you know, also being athletic, and not just be, you know, one or the other. So it's a hybrid, if you will, and that's also what his business is called. A new gym he just opened up in Pasadena called Hybrid Fitness. It's got brand new equipment from Rogue, everything you would need. It's a personal training studio, about four trainers there right now. It could fit about 5 or 6 comfortably. So you know, if you guys are in the area, please stop by and check it out. He's having a soft opening actually in the next week or so. But check out their Instagram. It's @hybrid__fitness. So in this interview, we just, you know, did a quick interview. It's you know, he hasn't done a lot of interviews or podcasts, so you know, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, you know, what Steve is like besides just being a big powerful lifter. So give you some insight on his background and some of his personal beliefs. Also, you'll see his girlfriend Christina, and they were kind enough to host me for my last 2 nights in California. Should have been 1, but I missed my flight. So they had an extra night with my big ass. Big thanks to them for feeding me and taking great care of me. I really appreciate it, and you know, I felt very welcome, and you know, we had a good time, and can't wait to see them again. Which, you know, they'll be at the LA Fit Expo when we compete. So hope you guys enjoy the interview. If you have any questions, you know, comment below, and I'll ask them in a later vid, I'm sure. But also in the future, we talked about this a little bit, me, Steve, and probably Tipapula. And we want to get on the road, host some seminars / workshops / demos, you know, and kind of spread our beliefs and philosophy on being a power builder, quote unquote. You know, being strong, powerful, but also you know, looking jacked and keeping your body fat down. So, you know, teaching you people how to exercise that way, and diet and stuff like that. So be on the lookout, and hope you guys enjoy it. Talk to you soon. Bye. All right, so Steve, you're originally from Chicago. Were you born and raised there?
I was born and raised Chicago, Illinois. Yeah.
Okay, and what brought you out to Los Angeles?
I first came to LA. I was 21 years old. I was in the fitness industry, and I knew that you know, in order to make it big, you had to be out here.
Okay. So what did you do out here? Did you go to college first or work?
So I originally came, I was just personal training. I came in 2006, and then in 2008 there was a big writer's strike here, and it kind of affected my business personally, and I needed a backup plan. So I started looking at colleges and, you know, what I wanted to do to give myself some security as far as jobs go.
Okay, so let's rewind a little bit. Growing up, did you play sports?
Yeah, you know, like
weights?
Typical Midwest kid. I grew up playing sports, but I actually got into a lot of trouble in junior high and a little bit before that. So I had about a 4-year hiatus where I was dealing with some drug issues and some being involved in some things I shouldn't have been involved with, and I didn't get the chance to have like a normal junior high, beginning of high school experience. So the time I actually got to a regular high school, I was already 15, turning on 16, so I had missed out on some of those real fundamental years as far as weightlifting and sports go. But jumping in at 15, I got right into football, right into weightlifting, and I was a little bit behind, but that really motivated me to work harder so I could catch up to other people, and that's where I think I got the work ethic I have now as far as the weights go.
Because you're kind of like behind, and you felt like
way behind.
And you wanted to,
like guys that I kind of saw as people that I should be stronger than because they were smaller than me were outlifting me because they had spent more time in the weight room than I did. So that motivated me to work a lot harder. And
so give us an idea of like how your size, what you weigh in high school.
Well, okay, so like I said, I spent a lot of time away from that.
Right.
So I went through a growth spurt. You stop doing drugs, you stop smoking at an early age.
Your body
reacts. And when I got to high school, I was like 6 foot and probably 178.
Okay. And then by the end of it, you were?
The time I graduated, I was like 6'2", 210 pounds.
Okay.
But a lot of that came on my senior year, where I got heavily into weightlifting because I stopped doing the football program style of weightlifting. I started following more of a bodybuilding and lifting every day, eating and doing the supplements, creatine and protein.
Okay. So after high school, did you pursue football more, or you just?
I didn't. I actually got hurt my senior year and was involved in an accident, and I got a torn retina in my right eye, and I wasn't allowed to do any contact sports for 3 years.
Wow. Okay.
So that kind of eliminated football, and that kind of took away my motivation to even go to school.
Okay.
So I tried out community college, took a few courses, but dropped out. I got a job as a bouncer, working at a bar, Russian division right downtown Chicago, and I fell into personal training. I was at the gym every day because I loved it at that point. And one of the guys had asked me, why aren't you working here? You're here so much, and it kind of made sense.
Yeah.
18-year-old kid fell into personal training, doing the bouncing thing, making a little bit of cash for myself.
Okay, so fast forward to now you're in California.
Right.
How did you end up at barbell and into powerlifting?
So, fast forwarding through that, I went back to school, played football, got hurt, spent some time trying to reevaluate the things in my life, and was always passionate about weightlifting, always passionate about lifting heavy, so I kind of made sense to get into powerlifting.
Okay.
And I found barbell because I was actively looking for people to help me squat.
Right.
And I needed some people that were stronger than me, better than me, more knowledgeable than I was in that particular realm. As you know, like studying exercise as a science and looking at it academically is much different than the actual in the gym experience.
Right.
And they don't teach you everything that you need to know. And especially with powerlifting, there's very little science behind it. As far as strength progression, things like that, and programming, of course, there's some data to that, but a lot of these doctors aren't trying to, and a lot of these professors aren't trying to squat 800 pounds.
No.
So they don't have the same
background and experience on how to teach that.
And not only how to teach it, but how to correct it. Because everybody looks good with 220 pounds on their back doing a textbook squat, but when you're trying to reach maximal limits of your human body, it's going to look a lot different. And they just couldn't prepare you for that. And you can do all the research you want, but unless you're around somebody that's actually doing that and can give you the experiences that they've had, it's really not going to help you too much.
Okay. So right now we're in November 2016. When did you start powerlifting, or what was your first meet?
My first meet was June of 2015.
Okay.
I started prepping for that around April, But I got into powerlifting probably the summer before that, so almost about 2 full years ago.
Okay.
But one of my first workouts, I mean, you know Adam.
Yeah.
I met up with Adam the first time to do a deadlift session, and we kind of both were throwing more weight on maxing out, and I tore my bicep. So I literally signed, I went to a Mark Bell seminar, benched 545 raw, signed up for the gym that night, went a week later, met Adam, because everybody's like, oh, you got to work out with this guy, like he's the dude here.
Right.
And worked out with him once, tore my bicep. I was out for 3 months for recovery.
Wow.
And then I didn't even see Adam for another 6 months. Just rehabbed it on my own, very slowly but aggressively.
Okay.
And got to a point where I was deadlifting 6 plates, 7 plates again in about 4 or 5 months.
Great. Okay, so from your first meet to your last meet, what were your numbers and how did you, what's the total now?
Well, so my first meet, I did 524 bench. I squatted 695 in reps, and then I deadlifted 760 pounds. So I had a 1978 total. I missed 2,000 by one bench press.
Wow.
545, which was, you know, my best lift. You think I would have had it? But in my last meet, I squatted 705, so I only progressed 10 pounds. Bench 562, and then I deadlifted 804. But me and you have talked about it too. There's definitely a lot left on that table.
Right.
So I know, like, it's about a 100-pound increase in a year.
Which is great.
It's great, but I know I had more in me. And I know that going into this next meet, I'm trying to make the same jump.
Same jump, and now you have a new coach.
A professional coach. I love the guy I was working with before. He's a great dude, but he's just not a professional coach.
Right.
And the difference is Chad understands this stuff from a scientific standpoint, and he's been through it.
Yeah. And describe how you like the training this time around.
I mean, I hate the training. The training is fucking hell.
Right.
It's been working, and it's been able to progress me to where I'm at, getting a little bit stronger every day. So, like, I love that part of it.
Yeah.
But also learning how to take care of myself outside of the gym, the resting, eating, sleeping, and being proactive with the injuries to being able to train at that intensity as often as we do.
Yeah. And now you're 6 weeks out?
About 6 weeks out.
So now this is where all the fun stuff comes, right?
Yeah, so now the percentages are starting to come up. We did our first peak.
Yeah.
You're here for the big squat. So I'm right on track, man. I feel like putting another 100 pounds of my total is there. Hopefully a little bit more. But everything's coming along the way it should be.
That's great. And then you're going to super training in next week, right?
Yeah, heading up to see Mark at super training next week. It'll be me, our buddy T. Papula, Larry Williams, and Stan Efferding. We're kind of doing this power building, bodybuilding approach to training, because and you're right along in there. Like, we all kind of share that same mentality.
Yeah. So talking about that, that's the hybrid stuff we like.
Yeah.
And let's talk about your new business.
Yeah, so like that hybrid style of training, it's kind of led into me opening up my own facility called Hybrid Fitness in Pasadena, California. But it's really not just me and not just my ideals. We also have a lot of other trainers. Christina's one of them that really brings a lot more to the table than just bodybuilding, powerlifting. We got a CrossFit guy. So that whole hybrid mentality is just like the combination of different approaches to the science and the application within it. Right. So everybody kind of doing their own thing, but formulating into one roof.
Okay. So you guys are open, but nothing. Just have a soft opening.
We're having a soft opening next weekend, so we're not officially open yet.
Right.
But we are currently taking clients.
Cool. And then you guys. Let's see. Are you guys gonna have a grand opening soon too?
We're gonna do that. So we're gonna launch the grand opening in January, and that's where we'll promote it and kind of do all the other stuff that comes along with it. I'm not gonna give away all my secrets right now, but definitely like personal training, private training. We're gonna open up some online stuff. And for those that can't make it all the way out to Pasadena, but it's going to be cool, man. It's a very unique space. You've been there.
Yeah.
Not the biggest place, but it's definitely got all the fundamentals.
No, it's got all the new stuff, good stuff you need.
Yeah. Made the right investments.
So, Christina, just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you compete in, your training, and what you do out here right now.
Hi, Christina. Been out in Pasadena with the boyfriend about 2.5 months, I believe now. Love it here. I am a nationally ranked figure competitor. I do personal training, meal plans. I do all that online.
Okay.
And then hopefully transferring that over all into the gym. I want to do in-house, get everybody into this awesome facility that we built, and really just focus all of our time into the hybrid.
Okay, so you do online stuff. How would people find you for online coaching?
They can find me through Hybrid Fitness, or they can find me through my personal page, which is Little Miss Newton.
Okay.
And then I have a link right there and my email for online training.
Okay.
So you can get at me that way.
Cool. All right, so Steve, we're 6 weeks out. We're doing the LA Fit Expo together.
We are.
Okay. Tell us about. You don't have to give away all your numbers, but what your goals there are, and then just kind of what you hope to do in this sport down the road.
Yeah, man, I'm not really big on giving projected numbers. Like,
right.
I always feel like if you can walk away from a meet better than your last meet, it's a successful meet. Also, staying injury-free is always my number one goal, having had as many surgeries as I've had. Like, if I get another orthopedic surgery, I'm going to have to compete as half bionic, so I'm gonna try to avoid that. But progressions is the goal. So as long as I can get a little bit stronger, I'm happy. But getting into long-term goals, I'm more than happy to get into that. But like squatting 800 has definitely been my goal. Benching 600 and deadlifting over 800 is what I set out to do in the sport.
Yeah.
So about a 2200 total. Okay. I think I'm gonna break 2200 before I actually squat 800, but it just different numbers. But that's definitely still the goal: 8, 6, and 8.
Okay, but as far as like 5-10 years down the road, maybe not numbers wise, but what kind of legacy or reputation do you hope to leave? Maybe not just the powerlifting world, but just fitness world.
Yeah, exactly. See, and that's the differential for me. Is like I'm not just a guy that is trying. I never set out to break any world records.
Exactly. Okay.
I think that for me, doing what I would need to do in order to get there, I'm just not willing to do it. So, opening up my own business, trying to make an impact on other people's lives, and also just keeping up with my own fitness so I feel healthy is been more important to me than just any numbers. So like if I could break 2200, get closer to 2300, and have fun while I'm doing it, and stay healthy while I'm doing it, and also at the same time train other people into the same mold of like staying lean, being muscular and strong, I think that'll be really what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of talked about it too. Like, you don't need to be an all-time record holder to solidify yourself as like a dominant lifter.
Right.
And if you could do that looking a certain way, I think that says a lot more than just, I don't want to say like drugs or everything, but pumping yourself full of all these things, eating whatever it takes to gain weight, and then losing your focus on health and kind of looking like shit in order to lift these heavier weights.
Right.
It's just not worth it to me.
Yeah.
I'd rather look strong and be strong than be stronger and look like shit. But that's just my preference.
All right. Okay, so this is Steve's gym, Hybrid Fitness in Pasadena, California. He literally just opened it, so all the equipment just got in this week. They're having a soft opening in the next few weeks, so if you guys are in the area, please check it out. You can follow their page on Instagram, it's hybrid__ fitness. So you can see he's got brand new equipment, all from Rogue, pretty much. It's very clean, all the different pieces of bars you would need. And in the back area, he's got space for functional trainings and put punching bag and pegboard and different things like that. And in the future, he is thinking about getting the space next door and opening it up. So room to grow. So please support him, check it out, and hopefully if you're in town, you maybe stop by and check it out.